So by using this step-by-step system, we found a trend, set up a good entry in here, and if we do everything correctly, we should be able to make a full profit trade almost every single time. And this is how we can make several $1,000 profit trades per day like clockwork. I've spent the last 7 years of my life and thousands of hours of screen time to be able to master trading. So in this video, I'll show you a step-by-step daily process to be able to take any amount of money and scale this up to making $300 per day trading. But realistically, you can scale this up to however big you want. We have team members 2x, 3x, 5xing their accounts, going on 26 trade win streaks using some of the things I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to take you through the softwares that I use and how to set them up, all the custom indicators and tools that I use for my trading, as well as the trading strategy and daily routine. Then I'll show you how we put all of this together to find trades and show you real trade examples of this system. And at the end, I'm going to show you how you can practice this on your own and start applying this to some of your own trading. So if that sounds good, make sure you hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you like trading and investing. Check us out on Instagram, Discord, and TikTok. We have an amazing trading community. All right, so let's first get into how exactly I set up my entire trading station. I'm going to give you a few scenarios because quite frankly, you don't need all of what I have to be able to do this. So you can see the main thing that I'm going to be focusing on here is my charting. Okay, that's always going to be where I'm doing my technical analysis, where I'm finding these trades. Okay, the next thing that I definitely need is an exchange, and then I need my trade tools. These are going to be the 3 biggest critical things you're going to need for any type of trading that you're doing. Okay, the next thing that I like to have pulled open is our Discord chat. Okay, this is where we put out daily analysis, trade ideas, where you can communicate with other traders, find all of your trading resources. Okay, if you want to join our Discord, it's completely free. We have tons of resources and everything for you to be able to get started. Okay, up above here, I have an ultra wide monitor. This is where I put larger term investments, or if I have multiple trading pairs per day that I'm watching, this is where I can watch a lot of things at once and sort of keep it out of the way. Okay, then I'm gonna have my cryptocurrency exchange on this same monitor here so that I can actually execute these trades. All right, then I have my laptop over on this side. I have my iPad right here showing me all of the news. Then I have either other trade tools here, or I just have something else opened on my laptop. Now, I put a little bit more thought into this that maybe meets the eye. Okay, there's a study that was done where basically the right side of your brain tends to be more analytic and the left side of your brain tends to be more creative. A lot of times over on this side, this is where I'm putting a lot of my creative projects, or maybe where I'm communicating and discussing on Discord. And then over here on the right side, where I'm doing primarily most of my trading, this is going to be on the right side, the very analytical part of my brain. So for the sake of the example today, when we're working on this, okay, I'm just going to be using this monitor that we see here. So we're gonna have our charting here on the left side. Then we're going to have our exchange setup up on the top, along with all of our Discord tools that I'm going to share with you and show you how to use in just a second. And then hopefully you have either a PC, in which case you don't have a laptop down here, or you have an additional screen where you can put some stuff on this screen. All right, so we have our charting set up over here. We have our cryptocurrency exchange right here. Okay, I'm using Bybit, but you can use Femex, you can use MEXC. There's a lot of options. And you can see we have a trade calculator down here, as well as a trade tracker. I'm going to show you exactly how to use those things in just a second. But I want to focus my attention here over to our charting software, which is going to be TradingView. This is where we're going to be doing all of our market analysis, and we're going to be using several custom indicators to be able to do this. Now, I have a lot of videos talking about general technical analysis, how to use TradingView. So if you feel a bit lost, I'm going to put a card right here. So if you are lost, watch that video first, then come back to this video and continue. If you have some experience or you just want to follow along first with TradingView, okay, this is going to be, once again, where we're doing our charting. So there's a few custom indicators that I want to go over that's going to be required for the trading process that we're doing on a daily basis. Okay, the first and most important is going to be called the IT Foundation indicator. This is going to consist of 2 major components. The first is going to be a stack of 3 simple moving averages: a 20-day moving average, a 50-day moving average, and a 200-day moving average. Now, you'll notice when the 20 is over the 50 and the 50 is over the 200, all of these bands are going to simultaneously turn green, and then vice versa. When the 20 is under the 50 and the 50 is under the 200, these are all going to be signaling red. You'll also notice that there is a box up here showing us on a 5-minute, 15-minute, 1-hour, and 4-hour frequency whether the trend is bearish or bullish. If it's all red, that means bearish, meaning that the trend is currently moving down and the momentum is moving down. And if it is green, that's showing us that the momentum is temporarily in an up direction. The second component is going to be this gray box section here, which is showing us the New York Stock Exchange open. Okay, so this is going to start from 8 o'clock here. So we're getting some of the pre-market action, and this is going to end at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the reason for this is because during this period, there tends to be a ton of volatility that enters the market. And with this specific trading system, we really don't want to play into the hand of volatility. We want pretty predictable trending price action. So we're going to avoid taking any trades inside of this gray area. Okay, the next custom tool we're going to use is a Fibonacci retracement right here. All right, and if I click from this level here and click to this level here, we're going to get several of these Fibonacci levels. So I'll click into this Fibonacci here. You can see we have our 0.05 level shown. We have our 0.382 level. We have our 0.618, our 1 level, our 0.17 level, and our 0.1272 as our take profit level. Okay, you can save these and click preset here and apply those, and you'll have the same exact fib settings as me. So each one of these trend levels is going to be a dip buy level on the current trend that we're trading. All right, so let's get into the step-by-step process of finding these trades in the daily routine that we need to follow when we're actually taking these trades on a regular basis. Okay, so my step one is going to be setting up my daily analysis. I'm going to do this at around 10 a.m. EST, which is going to allow me to pick the directional daily bias on the market. So what I'm doing is going down to about a 4-hour time frame to a daily time frame. This is going to allow me to sort of zoom in and drop into lower time frames for us to be able to tell where we could potentially see the price action moving for that trading day, allowing us to take trades to follow the trend. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is evaluate the current trend that we're dealing with. So for example, if I look at a 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, see how we have these lows forming right here, where we have contact point here, a little bit chop through here, contact point here, contact point here, and then we finally have the price break through this line. Okay, this big push down in price action here is going to be my first sign that we could potentially see a continuation of the price action moving in the down direction. The next thing that I'm going to do is something called Elliott wave theory. Now, I have a ton of videos where I talk about exactly how I trade Elliott wave theory. I'm going to breeze over it a little bit and just go over the general steps, but if you want to dive into more about that, I'll put a resource in the description for you to be able to watch more detailed videos about Elliott wave theory. But the general thing that I'm looking for here is a 5-wave structure. So if this is our first wave down to 2, 3, 4, then the low of our trend would potentially be on this, once again, 5-wave structure. You can use this tool here on TradingView, Elliott wave impulse wave count. All right, and because I'm tracking this Elliott wave theory, I know that I'm expecting what's called an A, B followed by a C wave correction. So say for example, I'm trying to trade this day here. I was expecting for us to get a significant push down in this price action to form this AB, which then allowed me to play my shorter term trades off of this trend. All right, so the second part of step 2 is going to be evaluating and waiting for the New York stock session to end. So we're going to go over and apply the IT foundation indicator, which you can find in the description of the video, onto our chart, which is then going to show us the trend directional bias for the day. Okay, so you can see right here, New York session opens. During this period, like I said, we're not taking any trades. We want to see where the direction of the market is going, be able to set up some markers, and then use that to decide the direction that we're going to trade for the rest of the day. Okay, so I could play this forward again. Okay, so you can see we have our New York session is now well over. And we have this high point here, and we have this low point here. So these are really going to be the general zones in which are going to dictate which direction the market is going to trend, at least for a while during that session. All right, so the next thing that I'm noticing is this uptrend here. So I went ahead and drew a line here as well as a downtrend line here. And we're gonna see which direction we could expect for this trend to play out into. All right, so we can see price almost broke above this trend line here, and now we're starting to break back down below this level. Once again, I'm trying to determine a general direction for the day. All right, so now I see these lows being broken right here, which now is starting to gear me up to trade this temporary downtrend, knowing that we're going to have potential heavy resistance on this trend here, as well as potential new resistance off of our level here. Okay, this is where I can start executing on my actual trade plan. Everything in trading is fractal, which means that things that are happening on a larger time frame are also going to happen in tiny zoomed in portions of the chart. What I can now do is just like what we did on the daily time frame, I can once again look at this uptrend here, find that we had a break of structure. We have our moving averages now creating a daily bias. So now I can look to count this trend once again as of my 1, potential 3 with 4, once again, not coming up past the high of 1 here before forming another lower 5th wave. So I can be planning for some heavy resistance into this zone. Here is where we're going to be setting up the entry for our position. All right, so now I'm going to take that custom fib that we had before, click at the beginning of this trend here, back up to the beginning of this trend line here, which is going to give me my 61.8, which is going to be my first entry, my 1.272, which is going to be my take profit value, and my 0.05, which is going to be my stop loss value. And then these two values in here are going to be additional dip buy levels, where if the price decides to come through here, is going to add to our position. And in order to calculate the next moves of the position, okay, we're going to use our position size calculator. You're going to put all of these values in. This is going to give you your first quantity as well as your second quantity and your third quantity once you put in all of these values. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over into whatever cryptocurrency exchange that I'm using, and I'm just going to type in my initial limit order, check this box here, and then put in my take profit level here, which is going to be this value. And then I'll just hit this confirm button here and send the order off. All right, and then I'll just follow the same exact step for limit 1 and limit 2. As soon as I get to limit 2, you also want to add the stop loss value only on the limit 2 order, and that's going to set our position up so that our first entry is right here, our take profit level is here, and our stop loss value is up here. And if you look at the real trade recording here, you can see I'm in short up about 240 right in this region, had done my Elliott wave theory and are looking for a break of this low level now here. Okay, we see the price confirm and break this level, juicy candle up over $500, and then this comes down and punches through full take profit for about $700 in profit in just a few minutes time. All right, so then what I would do is I'd go into my trade calculator. I would put in that total amount, whether it was long or short, the limit level that was filled, and this is going to automatically calculate my P&L, the percentage that I made on the trade. The amount that's going to be given to you here, you're going to subtract from this balance here and then apply that into your new calculator. So in this situation, if we're starting with say 17,000, then you'd have 175 plus 122, which would give you $300 total. Okay, so the idea of keeping this reserve balance is once we do have a loss, we're taking all of the money that we've been saving back into the compound process to further speed up the growth of the account. It's going to make a little bit more sense to you as we keep looking at examples. So once we've placed the trades, monitor them. Like I showed you before, step 5 is going to be logging your trades. All right, what this is going to do is allow you to see where you actually stand with your trading, see how you can improve your system, and if you are actually going to achieve profitability with the current win rate and average wins that you're taking per trade. All right, so let's go over another example that I took in real life. I'm going to show you the recording of the trade, and then I'm going to break down the thought process behind the trade and how it was executed in real time. So here I had a short trade on Atom, where once again I was looking at this break of structure and seeing my 1, 2, 3, 4 followed by a 5th wave. Okay, so you can see I entered in short at my entry point here at 61.8. Now, if you look, I was expecting that the price action along this channel would get a retest of the price action down at this lower point here. So even though I was expecting for the 5th wave to come down to my 361.8 projection, because of the daily bias, I did expect for the chart to end up dropping off a significant amount more. You can see I'm up about $300 on this position. I'm doing all of my other Elliott wave analysis, and then we start to get some pretty big sell side candles down here, starting to approach our 1.272 take profit level. We're up about $800 on this position. Once again, only in this trade for about 20-30 minutes. You can see we're up about $800, and we get out for full profit here and then end up getting our support zone exactly where we expected. A lot of people don't know this, but this is how we're actually able to make money when the crypto market also moves down. A lot of people just buy into crypto or think you can only make money when things go up, but it's really cool to understand how to do this so you can make money regardless of where the market moves. Okay, so I have another trade here on Atom. We also have the price breaking this overall downtrend here with a new push in price action, and now we're testing the 200-day moving average, the overside retest of this previous trend break, as well as the 61.8 entry point with our fib on this overall trend. And this is quite literally one of the most perfect entries that we could see. You can see we're outside of our New York session window here, whereas normally we're waiting for one of these highs or lows to be broken to determine the daily bias. There was so much support at this level that I decided to take a position right in here. So you can see we're up about $100 on this trade. All right, and this is where we start to see a break to the upside. We start to get some momentum. All right, then we break over that high. All right, now we're expecting for this 1.272 level to be hit. We're up about $650 at this point. All right, and then I end up taking the trade off the table at about $700 profit. All right, so far we've learned how to do our general daily analysis, how to avoid the New York session open, and establish the daily trend direction. All right, I've showed you examples of how we place trades and how we monitor the trades, as well as how we log them and set up our position sizing for the next trades. All right, so now I'm going to open up a random pair and we're just going to start trading this on a 1 minute time frame. And I'm going to show you how you can actually practice this on your own, so you can start taking some of these elements and applying it to your own trading. We'll go to, say, Solana, for example. We're going to click this bar replay feature here, which is going to allow you to practice. And this is something that's really cool too, because I don't remember what happened over here. So now all I'm going to be doing is playing this off of what decisions I would make in real time. All right, and this is a process called backtesting, where essentially you're going through and practicing your trades, looking at your own data to figure out the rate of profitability that you're actually seeing. Okay, so what I like to do when I'm doing these backtesting exercises is to just put what's called risk factors on the chart. So for example, if I'm risking $100 on a trade, this is going to be one risk factor. So say, for example, on the trade, I end up making 300. That now means that I'm up 3 risk factors on that one trade. And say I lose the next trade, that's going to be -1 risk factor for a net risk factor of +2. Okay, I'm going to keep going until we have a loss. If you don't want to watch all these bar replays, then just fast forward to the next chapter of the video. All right, so we currently have a pretty significant uptrend here. We have our New York session high established during this zone. What I don't like to see is this sort of non-choppy price action in this region. So I'm actually going to take a pass whenever I see price action just moving parabolically up. I really want to see sideways chop. Okay, so I'm going to have my Fibonacci set up here. All right, so right here on our chart, we have our trend break. So this is establishing my new downtrend. Technically, this is my highest point on the chart, and this could potentially be our first pull down point. So I'm going to use this as my potential 1 to 2, 3, which is going to give me my high of 4 right into this zone, and then a potential 5 wave down there. Okay, so this is still pretty early in the trend. So I'm going to click at that point down to this point, back up here. This is going to give me a general area where I could potentially see the bottom of this trend. This is the highest point that we went during the New York session, and this is our low point. So as soon as we get price action to break below that point, that's going to show us where the price is now starting to trend. I have the low points of my trend right here, so I'm expecting some potential heavy resistance up in this region. So now what I would do is I would take my Fibonacci retracement from this swing up to the high of this trend here, and I would look to set my first short position here. Stop loss is going to be here. Take profit is going to start out here. All right, so we get our first short entry. Okay, so it retests the resistance and continues to move up against our position. So now, because we're using our calculator, we're automatically now going to be short at this secondary level at our 0.382. So now all we need to do is, instead of our full take profit to be down in this direction, as the price continues to move up, now we know it's going counter trend. All we're trying to do now is take advantage of this volatility. With the math that we have set up, we're actually going to be able to get out of the position for a full profit. Our average position should be somewhere around here now. As this price comes down, we cover the short position for a full take profit. All I'm going to do now is add this text marker here, and we can look at our average win and losses later. And if you click over into this side menu here, you can highlight all of these, click this folder, compile this folder, hit this eyeball here, and that's going to go ahead and hide all of your analysis. So all you have to do is pop this open. You can look at everything that you've done, and then you can remove it and keep trading. So now we can keep playing the chart forward and see if we can now continue to take another trend. So what I'm going to be doing now is waiting to see if we can break this overall piece of price action. Now we need to see where the price is going to break out of. Like I talked about, I don't really like these really aggressive pieces of price action, so I'm going to avoid trading this just because it can completely whiplash. As you can see, it's exactly what happened. Okay, so no real good price action. Once again, a little bit too volatile to the upside here. All right, so we have our next New York session open here. Price is broken down of this sort of temporary trend. What I really want to see is this high broken over here in order to confirm that we have a follow through with this uptrend. But see how we have this choppy price action? This is going to indicate to me that even if this comes up and say we long into this zone, the price is most likely going to chop around enough on the way back down to be able to get us out of full profit, even if we aren't right about this catapulting up in our direction. And this is exactly what I'm looking for with these trades in order to decrease the amount of losses that I take. Okay, realistically, I actually don't even care if this breaks this level just because this wave count looks so good. We have this New York high being broken by this trend point. We have this as the daily session low. So what I'm gonna do now is I take my Fibonacci from this high point here down to my low point. Now I would have a take profit right here. So we would have added to our position right here, and we would have already been out for full profit here. There's a chance we missed this entry here, so I'm gonna let this play out a little bit further. So you can see how this system now just starts to get us out in full profit a lot of the times, as long as we are following the trends and we are sticking with this choppy price action. So now I have a new high broken. We have an established low here as well as an uptrend. So now I have a potential 1, 2, 3, 4 potentially coming down here up to a macro 5. Okay, so now we have a new high point here off of this low. So now we have our 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna see if we hit off of our 5 level yet. So I'm gonna click on my trend-based fib extension from the beginning of this trend right here up to my high point of 1 here, back down, giving me my factor of 1, which is now going to show me that this price has now rejected off of this 161.8 with a complete wave count. So now I'm expected for this price action to form probably a head and shoulders pattern here, in which case we see a pretty significant sell-off and then probably a bounce. Statistically, I don't long into fifth waves, but I am longing more so into this overall trend here. So even if we do get a reversal, this price action is choppy enough to the point where I think even if we do sell off, we're going to end up getting out for full profit. So I'm going to still hold true to this trade and see if this unfolds. First entry followed by our second entry got us in long again here at our secondary level. Once again, fills us for full profit here on a limit to win. Now we have 3 wins in a row. Okay, so now we have a really established downtrend. Okay, so now I'm actually feeling a lot more comfortable about taking this trade. All right, so now we're short. Got short in this zone, got short again in this zone, and then we would have gotten taken out for full profit somewhere around here. Another win. So we have our high broken, giving us a directional daily bias. I have these lows, which is giving me confidence off of this low, although price is sort of pushed up pretty significantly here. I don't love trading these patterns, so I'm gonna see how this plays out. Okay, a little bit stretched out, not loving it, but I do love that we have this support zone off of here. And we're out for full profit on this point here. I don't really love this trend, so I'm probably not going to take this trend here. Not established enough. Didn't get a full confirmation break. Would have been a full profit trade again, but I didn't take it. So I need one of our trends now to break. Okay, so now it looks really, really weak off of this high. So we get some aggressive selling down into this region. So I'm looking to potentially now start to take some shorts. And we get our take profit here. First take profit on Solana. See, if you're just following and understanding how to trade price action, it's actually kind of hard to lose these trades, and I'm going to explain to you the math as to why this is important. Okay, so now we definitely have a new downtrend established. I really want to see some sort of gradual choppy consolidation before I take any short positions on this trade. Okay, what I don't like about situations like this though is the fact that this price can now come down, and sort of the next area of support is to retest the overside of this previous trend, put us below this low, which is going to be our stop loss levels. That would have taken us out for a full loss there. So we definitely don't want to take those trades. Now we're sort of in no man's land. We're in an extended downtrend. We're not in a new uptrend. We don't really want to take trades yet. Okay, so I am going to stop here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades in a row, and you can see I could keep going. But the goal with this is anything over an 85% win rate, which you can see with what I just did there is essentially completely possible that I just did right in front of your eyes. So let's take a look now at actually scaling up an account. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to use something called postit.cloud, which allows us to run theoretical modeling through our script. Say we're starting with something like $500. With the calculators that we have set up with you guys, okay, we're starting off with a 10% max risk because this trading system can be fairly risky. Okay, since I'm showing you guys on the YouTube side, okay, I want everyone to practice with paper, practice with small amounts of risk. Now on the private side of our trading team here at Trade, since everybody really understands the system, we have custom tools, on chart calculators, API integrations in the works. I don't think anyone else is doing quite what we're doing. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you appreciate what we're doing here. But just to show you, we can actually scale this a lot faster if you want to fully dive into this. If we're starting off with say a 10% risk here. In the reserve balance, we're starting off obviously with $0. And then the profit expectation on the trade is about 2% if we're risking 10% per trade, considering the win rate is extremely high. Say we're starting with $500. So we have the profit per trade. Say we have about an 87% win rate, which a lot of people, as you're going to see, have a lot higher of a win rate. We're taking 75% and compounding that into the next trade, and we're saving 25%, as you see on the calculator in this reserve amount. amount, which is 25% of the balance. All right, so you can see we're starting with 500, 507, 515, so on and so forth, adding to our reserve balance here until we take a loss right here, which is taking our total from 575 here. We lose $50 on this trade. We add all of the amount that we've made on the trades back into the account, and then we continue scaling up from there. We have a loss right here, loss right here, loss right here. Now we're at 97 trades, which if you can take 2 to 3 of these per day, and you can see a little over a month, we've already doubled the account. Okay, and this is with an 86% win rate. Okay, as you can see, we have a lot of members. You can see HS Sani 16-0 so far. Blue had his account started at 3K and is now at 4.6K. Don Sky over here with his 25th win in a row. PJ Pan here at 31 wins with 1 loss. So you can see what we're doing here is absolutely insane. I want to show you guys one other thing. These calculations are considering with a 10% account risk. On the private side of our trading team, considering everyone really understands the math and exactly what goes behind this, there's a way that we can actually expedite this process so that people are doubling their accounts in something like 15 trades, whereas when we're at the 100th trade, people have 3x their account. Then say by the 200th trade, as long as they keep up with that pace, we're looking at something like $23,000. These are the things that we're working on this year. Mind you, this is working with perfect conditions, assuming no mistakes, but I wanted to be able to share with you guys a way to get started with this, to show you how you can start with almost any amount of money, start understanding price action, going through the other videos to be able to get to the point where you're making $300+ per day trading cryptocurrency. Once again, all the resources that you need to get started are in the description of this video. Okay, if you're still here and you're a real one, comment cloud below as well as something that you loved about this video. And I'm going to be picking 2 people in the comments to get access to our entire suite of trading education, as well as full lifetime access to the premium side of our Discord, where we have mentoring sessions. You get access to all sorts of exclusive custom indicators. If you're still here, make sure you hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you like trading and investing. So once again, comment cloud and something that you loved about this video, and I'm going to be selecting 2 winners. But that's all I have for today, guys. Until next time, I will see you all in the next video.